Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 5, episode 12. It's getting good.
Right. I enjoyed this one. This is
a good one. So before we get into it, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer's Fun, a Summer House podcast, which also includes Winter House and Martha's Vineyard and One Season Wonders. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Vanderpasta and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I and sometimes Sarah talk about whatever the hell we want. And also you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. And then for $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and we watch old seasons, just like we are right now, we will do an after show so we can talk about Bravo News and have the podcast be spoiler free. And also we'll say your name on the podcast. Oh, I'm unprepared for this. Okay.
Sending good vibes.
Thank you too. Chris, Darby, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Jackie, Jamie, Kirsten, Casey, Kelsey, Lauren, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tonette, Tracy, Emily, Gina, Isabella, Jennifer, Jesse. Oh no, I messed up. Leanne, Rebecca, Rio, Robin, Sarah, and Taylor.
Woohoo! Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. And this is the end. No, I'm just kidding. It's like a really good way to end it. And as I was saying it, I was like, should we just stop? No. Okay. And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we do live seasons, which are always, because live seasons never fucking end with these shows, I will post in the Patreon and ask for your questions, comments, opinions, concerns, whatever, and we will read them on the podcast. Also, we'll pick a patron of the episode. So I know I mean, if you want, but I want to make sure we haven't. No, I just want to make sure we haven't picked the person before this season, because there are like 20 something episodes, you know?
Yeah, we got to spread the love.
So I just feel like we'd be able to get most of our
patrons
$5 patrons. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Maybe I just start going down the list.
I think yes.
Which I do.
Pick from the list. Go down the list.
Yep. Okay. This week then is Darby.
Woo.
Darby,
woo.
Hey. Thank you so much. Hey. It's Sunday morning. I can't think right now.
You're good.
Darby,
Vibes are high on Sunday morning, but
I know, honestly,
energy is a little lower.
Well, thank you, Darby, for being part of our Patreon. And it looks like you maybe joined a little later in the last live season span.
Oh, wow.
So this live season, you're about to love it. I just know it. We're excited.
Of fun.
Buckle up for Darby's opinions we're about to get.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't wait to get that back in my life, because I always feel like when we end the episodes, like I'm missing something. Yeah, I'm like, and we're done?
Yeah. Okay, should we get into the episode?
Let's do it.
Great. So previously on Vanderpump Rules, Katie sucks at being an assistant. Brittany's mom's in town and Jax is struggling. Lala tried to quit, but Lisa wouldn't let her. The girls hate Lala and hate Ariana for defending her. I don't think I missed anything. I think that's pretty perfect. Great. So we're at Sir. Lisa's making Jax redecorate the bar, and then Sheena and Lisa talk. Everything's great in Sheena and Shay land, but not with the girls, because Kristen sent Sheena a bunch of angry texts. Because, as I said, I would like to say, we talked about this last episode, and I said this house that they're renting for the bridal shower is so expensive. There's no way I would do this.
Yes.
There's never a way I would do this.
But, what I said is it's better probably than like a banquet hall. I didn't realize it was going to be that expensive. I was thinking this is like an Airbnb. You spend $500 for one day.
It's not. This is not worth it. Let me tell you. For a bridal shower, this is more expensive than Schwartz is letting them pay for the wedding.
Dude, could you imagine if Schwartz was in the planning committee? That's the one time we need him. Like, there are times where it is stupid to spend a ridiculous amount of money.
So Katie didn't want her bridesmaids spending a lot of money on the bridal shower.
Which everybody says. Let's be honest. I'd be like, don't spend a lot of money on me.
But we've also, the bridal shower is usually paid for by the mother and
or like
the the parents.
A mom
Grandma?
friend. Yeah, I was so confused before I even heard the price. Last episode, I was confused why they were throwing it, but I just didn't say anything because in my mind, I was like, all right, we're doing this for the show. I thought her mom would be there helping coordinate things.
Katie's mom was probably like, should we have it at a banquet hall? And Kristen was like, no, we'll take care of it.
I also wonder if like off camera, her mom did throw her a bridal shower.
I hope so. So anyway, so we find out that this house was $15,000.
No, 1,500.
Oh.
I think it's 1,500, which is still expensive. It is
Did
not 15,000.
15,000. Wait,
it is not. There is
right.
no way it is $15,000. Sheena would have been freaking out more.
Was I high when I watched?
Probably. It was 1,500 because I mean 500 per person is still too much money.
Oh.
Yes. Because then Sheena says if we split it 8 ways, it's like half of a. Actually,
it's half a shift, is what she said.
Yeah, which is like $100. That doesn't make any sense though.
Well, okay, hang on. If I take 1,500 and divide it by 8, that's like $187. So divide that by 2, 93. Yeah, so like $100 for half a shift. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's 183 for half a shift. So I guess they're making like $400 probably just on their pay, like maybe not including tips. I don't know. Whatever. It's too much money.
It's not 15,000 then maybe. No,
I don't think so.
That sounds
no.
wild.
I think I would have heard if I heard 15,000. I would also be equally as shocked as you just screamed it. It's 1,500.
Katie's pride.
Oh my god!
Now
if it's 15,000, please sound off in the comments. And I'm actually getting increasingly more nervous. It is 15,000, but I just don't think it would be. That's like a venue cost.
Okay, wait. There's a whole In Touch article about this. They spent thousands of dollars on the special occasion and then expected her to split the cost. Thousands. Okay, so
not 15,000 though. I think it's like.
I'm sorry, but a 3-hour bridal shower should not cost 3,000. That's insane to me.
Yes.
And I think so 3,000 total?
Yes.
I think 1,500 is too low to rent that nice house.
It's for 3 hours.
I don't know. I don't rent nice things.
Think about how much like an Airbnb would probably cost for one night now. Like we're like 8 years from this event too.
Yeah, okay. 1,500 sounds too low, but 15,000 definitely
1,500 for
3
hours is kind of still a crazy amount though.
$500 an hour.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
I thought Sheena said thousands.
And by thousands she means like 3,000.
So then what?
I know.
It's 1,000 each to pay.
Yes. Listen, we're
spending a lot of time. I know it doesn't matter, but also I really heard.
I have a lot of thoughts on this on both sides of the fence. So like I'm excited. Let's move on from the number and then we'll talk about it when the girls talk about it.
So Kristen assumed that her, Stassi, and Sheena would split 3 ways, to which when I thought it was 15,000, said absolutely not.
Yes.
I'm not paying $5,000 for this. But so Sheena said though she wasn't involved in the planning. They just basically like threw the cost at her.
That's where my problem is. If like you are gonna force somebody to pay for shit, you have to get their approval ahead of time. I don't think $500 is enough for me to like really throw a fit over. I mean, I'd be pissed off and I'd be telling Lisa about it, but I would just buck up and pay it.
Yes, 500 is different. When I thought it was 5,000, I was like, I'm not paying that shit. Never, never. Fucking dream on, bitch. But yeah, if you don't tell me, also there are 5 other like, why isn't Brittany included in this?
That's the thing too, is like, I agree with Sheena's point of like, if we split this X amount of ways, this is much more affordable for everyone.
Also, we haven't even bought our dresses yet. We haven't done the bachelorette party yet. And we haven't even done like flying out to this remote place that they're getting married and having to do all that. So like
it does add up.
Whether it's 500 or 200, like we want it as cheap as possible. Like when everyone.
Yes. I get frustrated when people like spend money for you, like Sheena was saying. Like that's just not fair. But I also am similar to Stassi where I just don't like to like discuss money or like argue about it. And so
I don't
this
like
is just
to
a
argue
tricky
about it,
conversation.
but I would never offer someone else's money without telling them first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like, hey, Meredith, this is what we're thinking. Would you be down to split it 3 ways? And maybe you'd be like, well, let's split it amongst all the bridal party.
The only
and
way I would
like,
do it is if I was willing to cover what people felt uncomfortable paying for, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense too. But I just don't understand why none of the other bridesmaids had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like why Kristen was like, I must take this upon myself.
And the way they talked about it last episode is Kristen said she was willing to spend any amount of money for Katie's wedding. That so doesn't
Kristen
mean everybody else
do that.
is. Yeah,
no, fuck that.
I understand if you want to make this the most incredible thing ever and you really want to do it at this house and whatever, then you need to bear the financial burden of those decisions.
Yeah, I agree. $500 isn't enough for me to throw a fit, but I would be upset if people were like, hey, you owe $500.
Expecting me to do this.
I'd be like, excuse me, no one told me this. Fuck you. Okay, so then we go to Tom and Ariana's apartment. Tom's doing crunches in the doorway upside down.
Okay, all I thought about this was how did he get up there? Does Ariana have to be home to help him?
He got out pretty easily.
Well, out is a little different than in.
I don't know. People do this all the time.
Like
any strong men want to let us know how this happened?
I just spent the entire scene thinking about how he got in there.
All I thought about was the blood rushing to his head.
I thought about that too.
Must be hurting. So they're getting ready for Sandoval's birthday. It's not just a rager, it's a fundraiser where he teamed up with Richardson from Pump to raise money for Project Elevate, which raises money for kids in Haiti.
That's great. Cool.
Nice. I love this. So Tom's braid guy Vincent is now here. Ariana also has braid people because they're both braid cessed.
I thought she was joking.
She's like, Tom and I would save tons of money if we just learned to braid each other's hair. And I was like, yes, so you do have braid people then.
I thought she was joking about having her own braid person. Like, obviously she does it herself and just whatever. Like, it would be so great if he could just do it himself.
Us. She said us. And that's when I thought she was joking too. And then she's like, if we learned to braid each other's hair, we would save a ton of money. And I was just like, girl.
That's so funny because I never see their hair braided. I guess hers is something with like the headband braid.
Yeah. Tom's been braiding his hair a lot since it's been long.
Yeah, that's true.
And later in the episode when they weren't the main
she's
event,
at a different thing and her hair had braids. I saw that too.
Okay, great. So we have Jax's birthday roast coming up, which is after Sandoval's birthday, and Kristen's throwing the roast.
Weird. Just so weird.
Ma'am.
If this were like 15 years on the road, maybe we've gotten over it, but like
no,
that was like 2 seasons ago.
No, I'm upset. So Kristen texted Sandoval happy birthday. So Sandoval invited Kristen and Stassi, and I was like, great. They just yelled at Ariana, but Ariana's cool. She's like, whatever, more people, more money for our cause. So
because it's a charity thing, I feel like you're more inclined to invite people you hate.
Yeah. Plus Ariana was like, if they don't show up, they're shitty ass people. So I was like, shout out. So they get dressed, and I just want to mention that Ariana would smash. She looked so hot in her one-piece denim outfit.
I was
holy shit.
Damn, I don't remember this episode from like originally watching it. But I was like, damn, that outfit would be sick today.
Yeah, she looked great.
She could be Barbie for Halloween in that.
She could be Barbie. She just looked so, I was like, when's it my turn to look like that? Because that's amazing. She could be Barbie. Okay, great. Wow. I'm swooning. Okay, so Katie and Tom are searching for paint swatches at the paint store right now because Katie was a bad assistant and got the bad paint the last time, and she bought the paint. She didn't just bring swatches. So Lisa made her go back to actually get some swatches.
Yeah, we need
who buys the paint without buying the swatches first? Come on.
I guess people who don't understand how things work.
You buy the swatches, you hang it on
Pick
the
it
wall.
up. Yeah.
And you go, this could be it. And then you could get a sample of paint. So you paint it a little on the wall to be like, does it look good?
Yes. And you get a sample before you
Next
even
to
buy
the
the stuff.
swatch.
Yep. I think the sizes she bought were a bunch of samples, but still you have to buy the sample.
Mm-hmm.
And they're picking out a dirty pink, is what Katie says.
A dusty pink.
Oh, dusty
pink.
Why did I think it? She said dirty pink.
Dirty pink.
And I love how this is such a boy thing. Schwartz is like, it's just pink. They're just pink.
Honestly, I could pick out, this is what I would do, right? Because I don't have a good eye. I would look up dusty pink on my phone.
Yep.
Then I would try to match it to a few swatches. I would grab those swatches, bring it to Lisa, be like, which one do you like best? And then she'd probably pick, I'd have like 8 maybe. She'd pick 3. And those are the ones I would go get samples of.
Exactly.
It's a long process, Katie. You can't just buy the samples.
But you got to narrow it down. You got to give her like 7.
Katie showed up with like
swatches.
5 sample buckets last time. And I was
or
like,
you got to go buy one of those little like fanned out things and like just have Lisa look at 8 of them. But that would also probably piss her off because she wants like 5 to look at to pick from.
Of course. So last night, Schwartz was really drunk at El Coyote. And Katie got kind of drunk at her bachelorette party, although Katie claims she really wasn't that drunk.
Bridal shower, but yes.
Or bridal shower, fuck. And Schwartz also claims that he wasn't that drunk. So then Schwartz asked Katie why she was so upset yesterday. And I thought she's going to be like, because me and Ariana got in a fight.
Me too. I thought she was going to be mad that Lala was brought up, or like of the fight.
She is. She says that she's mad that they were talking about Lala, to which I then said, your friends are the ones that talked about Lala.
Yes. Why did you mad at your friends for bringing it up?
Yeah. That's on your friends. So I guess then after the bridal shower, Katie asked Schwartz to help bring things from the shower into the apartment. And he said no, he wanted to go to the bar instead. Oh. So they got in a text fight. But also, was he home? Was he already at El Coyote?
That's
like,
a good question.
Where were we in the night?
That is a good question.
If I'm already drunk at the bar and you're like, come home to help me, I'd be like, can we just do it tomorrow?
Now that I'm thinking about this more, I don't think he was home because they got into a text fight. I think they would have gotten into a real fight. And later in this conversation, she says something about like, when you came home, then they got into a real fight.
Okay, so I understand Schwartz shouldn't have said, no, I'm going to the bar. He probably should have said, can we do it tomorrow? I'm already on my way to the bar. Yeah. But let me tell you, if I'm fucking hammered with my friends having a good time, I don't want to go home and
yeah, I'm less mad at him. I thought he was like sitting on the couch, like waiting for an Uber. And he's like, no, I'm not going to help you.
See, I was like, if that happened, that's shitty. But if I'm already nowhere near our home,
I'm not trekking back home just to like get shit out of the car.
I'll do it tomorrow. Also, where's all your bridesmaids now? They can't help you bring it up. No, I'm just kidding. So Katie, we got their text. So Katie texted Schwartz and says, you don't get it, so don't worry. Fuck it. I'm over today anyway. Thank you for helping me 0% today. And Tom says, what the hell are you talking about? You are shit-faced. Get a grip, woman. Ooh. Tequila KT. I did nothing wrong at all. You are hammered. So the texts suck on both ends because I don't know what Schwartz was supposed to help Katie with today, but never tell me to get a grip, woman.
I think, well, to her, I bet it always comes off as he does not care about this wedding. Like when she's like, come help me with like carrying these presents. And he's like, no, she's like, you don't care about this wedding. We're getting married. Like, I want you to be as excited as I am. But he's not. We know he's not excited about this wedding for the financial reasons. He also doesn't really care about marriage.
Also, he hates Katie. He hates Katie so much.
100%. But I think that riles her up more is when it feels like he doesn't care, but we know he doesn't care. So there's not really a solution here.
No offense to Katie, but she's not exactly the person to be like, yes, we're getting, like, she's not Sheena to be like, I love this wedding. I'm excited. She's more like, thanks for the bridal shower. Like, she's more chill. Yeah. So does she want Tom to be like more excited than her? Is she just mad that he's like less excited? I don't know. I think both of them hate each other and they don't want this wedding.
I think she just feels like she's in this alone, and that makes me sad.
She is.
I know, but I see like her pain, and that makes me really sad. So then whenever she gets drunk, I think she's like testing him basically on like, come help me with Like, come all the way back home and help me with this wedding stuff. And when he says no, she like spirals even more.
Yeah.
Like, she's setting him up for failure, but she doesn't realize that.
Yeah, they're just not very good.
No.
So then also Sheena says it later, but they truly shouldn't drink. That's when they fight.
100%. Although later then Katie says like, well, I fight when I'm sober too.
I
And
know.
like,
I was literally like, you
that's
bitch.
not
Yeah, okay,
good.
so
You guys are not in a healthy relationship.
never. So Schwartz says Katie started the fight over nothing and isn't taking accountability. And Katie tells Schwartz that he's shit-faced. So they start arguing in the middle of this fucking paint store.
Oh my God. They're arguing about who was drunk and caused the fight. And I'm like, you guys were both a problem.
That's the issue. So then Katie's getting really fucking mad. Schwartz won't shut up. And then Schwartz says, oh, you're such a bitch. To which I went, oh no. So Katie grabs the paint swatches and walks out and drives away without Tom, which honestly was baller.
I love it.
Awesome. That was awesome.
I appreciate Katie, like watching Katie fight because it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
But like for the sake of their relationship,
this is bad.
You guys are bad.
This is bad for the relationship, but for a TV viewer, it was dope to watch her drive away and turn around, like loop around to look at him and be like,
that's the thing. She drove away thinking like, I'm out of here, bitch. But then it's like, there's no satisfaction of seeing his face and me driving away. So I need to loop back around.
Turns around and he's like, Katie. And she goes, call an Uber if I'm such a bitch, then I'll be a bitch. And I was like, get it. I
loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
This is, if I hated my friend's boyfriend, I'd be on the sidelines just like, yes, do this. But if I liked this relationship, I'd be like, ooh.
I know. I'd be like, don't, no, you're literally throwing the gauntlet down.
This is really bad for everyone. But I'm currently that friend that hates this relationship. So I'm like, drive away, bitch. Do it. Leave him in the dust. So now we go to Sandoval's B-Day fundraiser. James is here. He brought Raquel. Kristen, Carter, and Stassi made it. James is excited for his gig that he gets to do at Arthur's restaurant.
Which I thought his gig was this party, by the way, for the longest time.
Oh, Sandoval would never. No. Not with Lisa coming. No. So Sheena and Shay are here. Richardson loves Sheena's body. Shay,
that was so weird.
Well, I don't know Richardson's like sexual orientation, but he was like, girl, I love your body. And then he looked at Shay and was like, haha. And Shay was like, haha.
And he was like, you're banging. Like when she walked in and I was like, he's like collecting donations. I was like, this is such a weird interaction.
Shay's also not the type to like fight anyone. So he was just like, yeah, my girl. Like, remember that one weird, creepy music guy who's like, ooh, listen to Sheena moan. And Shay was like, yeah. God. So Richardson, whether he's straight, gay, or anything in between, I don't think Shay cares.
That's true. Shay seems like the type to love that other people love his wife.
But I was like, is Richardson like trying to get donations?
Buttering her up for more donations. That is actually, that would work with Sheena.
Yeah, you look fucking banging. And she's like, another 100 right to Richardson's account. So Tom and Katie are here. They came together. Schwartz says, you know what? It might be sad, but it's fine because they've gotten in so many fights it like doesn't even matter anymore.
Oh, not
rough.
Red alarm.
Break up.
Yeah.
So Sandoval does his Michael Jackson dancing. Peter, Jax, Brittany, and Brittany's mom all show up. And tell me why I thought Brittany's mom was Peter's date.
Oh my God.
But the four of them are walking up. I'm like, who'd Peter bring? And I was like, Sherry. That's Sherry.
I was looking at Brittany versus Sherry's outfit. And I was like, these are two totally different vibes. Sherry's in like a t-shirt. And Brittany is in a kind of looser, no bra top. And I was like, whoa, this is way before like free the nipple was really a thing. And I was like, girly, you guys are two different vibes. But don't worry, Sherry had that silver lipstick on.
That lipstick, I know. That's why I was like, who the fuck did Peter bring to this thing? Like, Peter, hit me up before you hit up Sherry. It's not even like
ironic. Like she's in like an all silver outfit. And so she like puts on a silver lip. It's only a silver lip.
Even if it was ironic, how terrible, you know? So it's bad. It was bad. Sherry's not meant to be a fashion icon. I don't know what to tell anyone.
But I love it nonetheless.
It's so bad. So Sheena goes to say hi to James and Raquel. Well, Sheena's a bitch. Okay, so
I fucking hate her. Her trying to be like conniving is weird.
it was weird.
It doesn't
So
look good on her.
She's like, hey, oh my God, so good to see you guys together, considering. And James is like,
The pause.
considering what? And she's like, oh, do you not know? And Raquel's like, why are you talking to me now? And Sheena's like, about Ellie. And then James is like, oh, I told her everything. And then Sheena in her interview says that she needs to stick up for her bestie, Ellie.
Oh my
and
God.
she doesn't appreciate James going around town telling everyone she's a liar. To which I said, if Ellie just hadn't said anything to begin with, well, who cares? Who cares?
I love that now she's Sheena's best friend because she used to be Lala's best friend when we met her. And so I don't understand how Ellie can be Sheena's best friend if she's Lala's best friend, because we hate everything attached to Lala.
Also, who on the town? I don't even know Ellie, but I know James. Who on the streets of LA is like, Ellie told me one thing and James told me the other. I must believe James.
That's so true. She's like, I need to fight for Ellie's name. James is slandering her across the
dragging
town.
it through the mud. Meanwhile, James doesn't have a job because he got too drunk and fought some photographer at Pump or whatever.
Yeah, to be honest, like if I was around town and I heard both the stories, I'd be like, all right, I probably believe Ellie, but like not my relationship, not my problem.
Also, I don't care. I don't care enough to break up Raquel. Is that the other thing? They want like James and Raquel broken up? Like, why do you care? I thought
think
James
they just want him to suffer.
Were James, Stassi, and Kristen not cool after their little powwow?
That's so true. They just had like,
what's Sheena doing?
That is so true. And like, I don't believe in this James Raquel relationship enough to want to even break it up. I forget she exists until she's on my screen.
Okay, I actually have a really similar thing to this. So one of my friends, when he started dating his like new girlfriend that none of us knew or cared about, he came to like a party and he ended up making out with one of my friends. Like they didn't know each other before and they made out. Yeah. And then everyone at this party watched it and went, and none of us have told her or brought it up to him because none of us care.
I don't think I would, especially if they didn't sleep together. Like a simple makeout at the start of a relationship, fine, to me isn't like groundbreaking. I mean, it would hurt me if it happened to me and I found out. Like I'd be sad
as like a viewer to be like, I must
intervene. I must find this girl and tell her. No,
that's how I feel about this. Like I would never seek this girl out and be like, you'll never get like.
That's the thing. If she came to a party, the girlfriend in your life came to a party with that guy, you wouldn't walk up to her and be like, it's so good you guys are together, considering.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't even care.
I don't even think I'd talk to her.
It drives me nuts about these people. So Sheena then brings up the picture of James's back that Ellie took.
Oh, bringing up the picture, I'm like, shut up.
And then James just calls Ellie a DJ groupie, and Raquel goes, who takes pictures of people's butts?
Facts.
And I was like, Raquel's never seen the photo, but I get what she's saying. And you know what? Shout out.
I agree with that comment so much. Like, how are we not speaking about how weird this is that she took a picture of him laying in bed? I have been thinking about that ever since we recorded that episode. And I'm like, I can imagine laying in bed with a guy and as he's asleep, snapping a selfie.
Like you with one eye because you're laying down and then his back and you're just like, boop.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Yeah. Like, what if he caught you? I just keep thinking about that. Like, I have my arm out and like taking a selfie, and if he like rolled over and was like, the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing? So then Sheena is basically like, wow, Raquel's the dumbest but most beautiful person. So like she'll believe James's lies.
Which like I do believe that too, but again, I don't care about this relationship.
She seems like she doesn't even care. So why does everyone else care?
She's just like there. I have no desire, if I were in this group, to speak to her.
To save her from James. Like I'd be like, enjoy. Yeah. Unless like someone else wants James, I just don't understand it. This infuriates me.
Or like if he did something to me, like if he did something to Sheena, I get this like kind of wanting revenge through this storyline. But I don't like, to me, Sheena isn't the one who should be doing this. Like if Kristen came over and did this would make more sense.
It was Kristen, but it just, there's nothing here I care about. So Lisa's here. She donates $500. Richardson's beside himself. But also, why do I feel like this was low?
I thought this was low
for Lisa, right?
I was like 1,000, especially because it's like her employees. Like, kick
This
over
is
1,000.
This is how much Sheena had to pay for her
Oh,
house.
yes.
Not even that much.
That makes
Lisa
it way more
covered it.
sad.
Lisa could have just covered it for Sheena if she cared.
Seriously.
So then Sheena goes over to Kristen and Stassi and she's like, oh my God, can you believe how stupid Raquel is? I just stuck up for Ellie, James.
Oh my God, Sheena, that's why Sheena did this. She just wanted to be able to go to the girls and be like,
immediately
just roasted them.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Sheena then brings up some text she got last night. About how Kristen's mad that Sheena won't pay for her share of the bridal shower. And Sheena says, you can't make plans without me and expect me to be on board to pay for them.
I'm happy she's saying this to them.
Which I think is smart too, right? Also, even if I'm down to pay $500, if I had no say in like how we spent our money and what we did, like maybe I fucking hated the bridal shower. Why am I going to pay for that shit? You know? So Stassi says that Sheena was included and but Sheena's like, I didn't agree to pay it 3 ways. I thought we were splitting it 8 ways amongst these bridesmaids.
Which they don't address at all, by the way. We don't see it at least. Like,
also, if it was just the VPR girls, why isn't Brittany invited into paying?
Well, like, I think they look at Brittany as like sweet and oh my God, cute, and Jax pays all her bills. She can't afford this.
Funny.
And it's like, okay,
so yeah.
But why do I have to pick up the slack?
So then Sheena also says they're making her feel like less of a friend and a bridesmaid because she doesn't want to pay this much. And Kristen says, no, you're making yourself feel that way. And then Stassi says she just hates talking about money. And Sheena goes, no, I agree. I hate being the cheap friend. But she's like trying to stand up for herself. And Kristen almost drops how much she paid, but then Katie shows up. So then they like stop talking about it. And then Sheena says that she knows she's a people pleaser, but Kristen, Stassi, and Katie are a toxic group. And Sheena thinks she's lost her voice, which is true. This is a toxic group.
It's really hard to bring up money stuff too. I find it very difficult to like fight for myself financially. I have friends who make a lot more money than me, and like it is so hard to be like, no, I don't want to do that, or like I'm not willing to spend that much money on something. So like I really admire Sheena for like sticking up for herself.
I do too, because it's really hard, but you should do it. Like I want to have this courage to be like,
me too. No. Especially people you're already fighting with. Like you already don't feel like you fit in. It is so much easier just to shut up and pay it than to like stick up for yourself.
Okay, so then Jax and Brittany and Sherry go to donate some money, but Jax's card gets declined.
Oh, I've never had my credit card declined.
I have. It was my debit card, but I've had it declined.
This is just so odd to me that like his credit card doesn't work.
I mean, I don't know so much about credit cards because you have a high enough limit, I would think.
Yeah.
But a debit card I've had get declined, and that was like sad.
I've had it like not be able to read like the chip, you know.
Oh, count your blessings, girl. It's embarrassing when you're like, oh no.
For him, like fighting so much with Brittany about paying for everything, I'm like, shouldn't you have your ducks in a row here?
Well, yeah, for him. So then he's also annoyed that this happens when Sherry's in town and not when he's like grabbing lunch by himself at McDonald's. I'm like, that's because it's like a few dollars. You're not going to get declined.
That's so true. Actually, I would still be embarrassed at McDonald's. Like,
well, yeah, you would be more embarrassed at McDonald's because you can't pay $3. That's more embarrassing.
Like, I understand it's embarrassing because you're kind of like, I'll call her the mother-in-law, like in town, like you're trying to impress her, but
embarrassing, yeah. So then Brittany has to then pay for the donation, and her card goes through. So she says in her interview that Jax can make her a sandwich now.
I wish she would have said that to him.
Same, that would have been dope.
Damn.
So then Schwartz gets himself, Stassi, and Brittany some Jaeger bombs, which is so disgusting.
I hate this. I've had some, and
I hate a Jaeger.
I think this is such a weird group also doing this.
Yeah, and then for Brittany to say she gets a titty hard on. Okay, so then Lisa and Sandoval and Ariana talk about how Lala was invited tonight, but she might be out of town because she's not here. And Lisa says that Lala is MIA at work too. And then, so we don't know where Lala is. But then Lisa asks Ariana how she's getting along with Stassi. And Ariana straight up says she doesn't like Stassi very much because Stassi tries to tell people how to live their lives.
Lisa
she's not gonna
laughs.
Lisa knows. Lisa hates
Yes.
Stassi.
Yes.
And Ariana's like, I'm not gonna be a puppet. And Lisa's like, rock on, girl, you're my favorite,
I
basically.
know. I love that. Like Lisa's like, oh, finally somebody not under her charms. Like, I'm so happy.
Yeah, she's like, do you want to come hang out with me? Because all I get is Katie so far, and Katie's like fucking obsessed with Stassi. She dropped off a tea towel and wouldn't stop talking about how great Stassi is.
Lisa really wants Katie to like come up for air and not be under like Stassi's ruling
spell.
Yeah.
Okay, then we see Jax is wearing a cami underneath his shirt to prevent his or like protect his boobs from his breast reduction that he had. It was a cami. It was a cute cami.
I can't believe it was Brittany's. Like, I just don't think he'd fit into that size.
I don't know, man. Brittany has her boobs.
That's done. True. Good point.
So Lisa then tells Katie to go get the samples in her car because she needs them now.
Oh my God. When Katie's like, yeah, I have them in my car, Lisa's like, I need them in the office, not in your car.
Go get them. So Katie tells Lisa what happened at the paint thing. She's like, I brought Tom to help, but he was no help. He just called me a bitch. And Lisa's like, you guys are literally getting married soon. What the fuck?
I like, and she's like, you need to sort that out.
Like, but Katie's like, we don't need to sort anything out because I got a block away. And then he called and admitted that everything was his fault. I'm like, this isn't healthy though. You didn't win.
That's not the way to resolve the fight. Like,
he's resenting you now.
I feel like I fight like this, and it watching the show is definitely therapeutic because I don't want to fight like this. That it really shows like how you like. I think everybody will always have fights, but it's like how you make up. Like, can you actually resolve it and come to like fix it amongst your relationship where you both feel happy? Like one person just like throwing their hands in the air being like, oh, it was all my fault, and the other person being like, okay, not gonna work. You guys are brushing this under the rug. This is clearly a bigger problem. So now Tom walks over and Lisa's basically like, oh my God, the two of you figure this out because I fucking don't want anything to do with this. And she leaves because she's like, fuck you, basically. I like how Tom's like, let me tell you my side. And she's like, no.
No, I don't give a fuck, actually. Like, this is a mess.
Not at all.
Okay, so now we cut to Sheena and Ariana. So Sheena asks Ariana to talk really quick. Sheena says she's been crying all day on and off. She opens up about how lonely it is because Shay hasn't been around as much. So like last night, he wasn't home at 3 a.m. So Sheena checked in on him and he said she was bothering him while he was trying to record.
Okay, first off,
he's doing drugs.
Okay, we'll get to that in 1 second because I have something I'm even more confused about is when she said she's been crying, I thought she was about to tell Ariana about the Kristen texting because earlier in this episode, we hear everything is great in Sheena and Shayland. So I was like not expecting the problems to be with Sheena and Shay.
Well, when she says that, I was like, Lisa about that shit, right?
Yeah.
She wouldn't tell Lisa about it. She'd tell Ariana.
And I guess it just happened, but I was just so taken aback when it was about them. I'm like, whoa, that's not the problems I thought you had in your life.
So it was about them. He's at the studio doing his job, fucking laying out sick raps.
We don't, why are we not getting enough about significant others? It's kind of annoying me because this doesn't make sense to me because I have not seen him at all this season.
You want to go see Shay in the recording studio?
No, but like, let's get like lunch with Sheena and Shay and like talk about their relationship or something. Like, I feel like he used to be so a part of this show and now he's so removed that I'm like they show him and he's just sitting at the bar texting. And I'm like, that's what we get.
We know Shay has addiction issues and we know he's a recorder and we know he also kind of hates Sheena. So
true.
So he's probably trying to just get away from her. He's recording at 3 a.m. She's like, hey, where are you? I'm checking in. Why aren't you home? And she didn't just text him once.
That's true. She probably called him like 3 times. She did all the things.
He's a dick and he's like, I'm actually doing a job, Sheena. And I'm like, your job brings in $20 max a year, please.
That's the other thing. I don't understand how serious his career is in the grand scheme of things. And so, I mean, I do presently as Meredith know where his career is at, but in this show, I don't know if it's like Sheena, recording her like 2 bops. Does she have 2 songs out? It doesn't matter.
At least 2.
I don't understand how serious his job is. Like, is he Like Shorts, I would say, is a decent actual model. And so like if he told me he was actually doing something for work, I would believe him. Does that make sense? Like I don't know how serious I believe Shay because I don't know him anymore.
Yeah, I don't really know what he's doing, but also knowing he has addiction issues, if he's out at 3 a.m., you can record a lot of other times besides 3 a.m. That
But if
seems
you're not,
wild.
if you're like an up and coming, you may get shitty like studio time.
Oh, it's 6 a.m. then, man. 3 a.m.?
Like if you,
That's
but also
wild.
if like things are really flowing, wouldn't you like stay and like work
Also,
all through the night?
no one's at the studio or doing anything at 3 a.m. with a group of people not in your house and you don't have other drugs or alcohol involved.
That is true. Is I feel
We're
like he'd be
sipping
around it.
whiskey, we're
Yeah.
chilling. And if he's really getting that mad because Sheena's like, 3 a.m. is not a weird time for your girlfriend to be like, or wife to be like, where are you? And if he's getting mad about it, he's probably doing some shady shit.
But also, since we're not getting his point of view, I was like, if she is nagging him incessantly for hours, and like he
That's
told
also
her
true.
he was like going to the studio, and then she like keeps calling him like every hour to check on him, I'd be pissed.
I'd be Sheena. I'd be like, you're still at the goddamn fucking studio. Come home.
I feel
You're
like
my
I like
fucking husband. Do you know how suspicious it is though to be out at 3 a.m. and
I
then be
know.
mad when I ask you where you
I
are?
know. I just
That's
feel like I'm so team Shay after
suspicious.
the rules that she put on him that I'm
Nah,
like, get off his back.
maybe he needs more rules. He's out at
Well,
3
I
a.m.
don't think you're in a great relationship if you need to put rules off your like significant other.
I
So don't
agree. I've
say
never said this was a good relationship.
don't like yeah. This is don't say it's great in Sheena and Shayland if you need rules on your significant other,
But she
Sheena.
said that to Lisa. She's
I
not saying it to
know.
everyone. Like the
That's
last
true.
time, remember, she said it to everyone and then we like hit a breaking point. She's
Yeah.
now at least opening up to Ariana and being like,
Which
here's
broke
my
my
issue.
heart. It is so hard to like look at your friend and be like, I was sobbing all night last night.
I just think Shay's shady. I don't trust his ass. You're
I
not
don't I
out.
don't see him. So I'm like, ugh, I'm a little apathetic. And the only things I have seen of him are the
You know when
rules, so
we
I'm on
did
his
see him?
side.
Do you know when
What?
we did see him? When he was sober.
Yeah, that's
You know when
true.
we really didn't see him?
When he
Before
was
he was sober, when he was
using.
using.
You're right.
I'm on to
Well,
his ass.
I don't think he really has ever been sober.
Well, you know what I mean. Partly sober.
Because like Sheena said he had been using her their whole relationship.
Sober as not to
And we
be
don't
a
think I don't think he
buzzkill.
was ever sober because he was allowed to drink beer. Remember all the rules? He was allowed
It
to
was
drink.
just beer
He had to be
though.
fun, but not fun.
Yeah. Okay, so when Sheena really tightened that. So whatever. So it scares Sheena. And she doesn't feel like she
Yeah.
can talk about this with the other girls because they'll throw it in her face. To which I said, then they're not your friends.
I thought the same thing. And I appreciate Ariana like not really going like like you just said, like being like, they're not your friends, like and freaking out at her. Cause like that's not what Sheena wants to hear right now. But it makes me so sad. Like when things are going wrong in your life, if you can't sit down and talk to your friends about it, and if they throw the bad things in your face later down the road, like using this stuff against you is so mean. I can't imagine somebody using stuff against me that I've
I
like shared with
agree.
them.
And then also, she can't bring up that this summer, like, she can't bring up anything about herself because this summer is about Katie too.
Oh, this is my biggest grief with like I'm gonna make it a girl
Weddings.
thing with like girlfriends. I feel like if somebody has like something happy in their life, or it's like their birthday month, or like it only has to be about them, and I hate that.
Yeah, I do too. So that's what's happening. So Ariana basically says, it's easy to become a yes friend, but if they're not going to love you for like who you really are, then they're not your real friends. And her and Ariana hug, and it's a cute little friendship.
It's like real, and then we go to the not real friends.
Stassi, Katie, and Kristen. Well, I think these three are real friends to each other, but not to Sheena. So
I don't think in the way that Ariana and Sheena actually
no,
are.
I think it's a different vibe.
Yes.
It's different.
To me, it's like college friends where you're just like down for the same things.
Proximity helps a lot.
Yeah. Whereas like Sheena and Ariana are actually supportive, real, get through everything friends.
Yeah. So Katie, Kristen, Stassi, they talk about what happened with Ariana and how Sheena didn't side with them at the bridal shower when Ariana was sticking up for Lala.
Oh my God. And I'm like, that's not what happened.
Then They talk about how they haven't really talked to Sheena about it because they can't talk to Sheena about anything because Sheena sucks. And then they cheers to knowing the truth because they can all handle the truth and be the three best friends ever.
I was like, am I in the Twilight Zone?
They're
You guys are
so
cheering
rude.
to truth, and like Ariana, like telling you or her truth, or somebody's telling you something different. You're not about it. Like Sheena always tells Katie, like, I think you're drinking too much. I think you're unhappy. And Katie flips out at her. You're not about truth.
Also, the truth that Ariana dropped was, okay, fine. If Lala's a mistress, though, what about the dude that like ruined his family?
Yes.
And they're like, no, that's
They're
no.
like, how dare you
That's not
bring
true.
that up?
They are defender of men, such as Jax is defender of women.
Especially the truth, quote unquote, of men.
The truth. They're all truthers, baby.
They're all
the minute you're a truther, you start defending the opposite sex.
That's what binds this friend group.
Wow.
And if you're not the defender of the opposite sex and the truth that you deem truth, you're not one of us.
You're not a truther, baby. So then Sandoval does a speech. Their goal was to raise $5,000. They raised like $8,000. Yay.
Wait,
Sandoval's
they raised $8,604, and I literally thought, where did the $4 come from?
Jax's
it couldn't be $5. Where did the $4 come from?
Maybe he's turning 34, so someone was like, I'm gonna give you $34 as a donation.
Okay, that makes more sense. But I was
or
like,
$104 as a donation or something, you know, like.
Yeah, I just thought the 4 was so odd.
The $4 is funny. James was like, I actually don't have a job right now, so I can give you his $4.
That's the thing. They asked people, like, what's the amount in your bank account? And I was like, somebody had to be like $4.
$4. So speaking of James, he rolls out early because he's got to get to Arthur's restaurant to DJ.
Yeah.
He sets up and Raquel's like, is it complicated? And he presses a whole button and she goes, it's too complicated for me.
Oh, I was like, girly pop. No. Also, the vibe of this place looked like a hotel bar area where you like get to sit and like chat with your family or like your friends.
All 12 people were
not
chilling.
A rager. Not where I'd like want to DJ. I'm gonna be honest.
No. But James is learning he's not drinking tonight. And his buddy Max Todd shows up.
That's so sweet.
He though was not invited to Tom's fundraiser.
That broke my heart because even his mom didn't tell him.
Even his mom was invited. So James is really mad about what Sheena said. Max is yawning, so he doesn't really care. But James, he's not worried because he has prevailed. He is at the top of his fucking game. And then Arthur's here and James is like so grateful for this opportunity. And Arthur's like, great, play my hotel lobby, please.
Yes.
So now we go to Sir. Lisa checks in with Peter. They're short a hostess, but no worries. Peter has backup hostesses.
This is Lala's so missing. I hate their business conversations so much.
Lala's missing, so
I didn't even notice she like hasn't been in the last 2 episodes, really.
Yeah, we have no idea. Well, she was in the last one, remember, because she was flying to Malibu. That's probably where she is. She flew to Malibu.
And yeah, she was shaming
James for not drinking.
Yeah,
never forget.
Good point.
So Katie and Sheena talk. Katie asks about the fight with Schwartz, and Katie's like, we're totally fine. And then Sheena's like, I got into a fight too because Kristen drunk texted me. Or wait, this is where Sheena says you fight when you drink, and Katie's like, oh, I fight when I'm sober too.
Yes, but then I think they do also talk about the Kristen.
Yeah, then Sheena's like, hey, is everything cool with Kristen? Because for the past 2 nights I've gotten angry drunk texts. And Katie's like, oh no, about what? And Sheena's like, so for your bridal shower, which I was like, oh no, this is so tacky.
I know. I didn't think it was a bad thing that she said Kristen was being mean to her over text, but the minute you tell her truly the details, Sheena, no.
I don't like it.
No.
Katie also doesn't like it. She feels awkward. Then Sheena got an angry text about Ariana. Katie doesn't care. Katie's just running.
Which you could have just used the Ariana thing as the basis of.
I know.
Since there were 2 topics, you could have just been like, well, a few things, and like last night was like she was yelling at me about Ariana.
Sheena, we were on your side. Sheena.
I know, she lost me with that.
I love you so much. So then we go out to dinner with Jax, Brittany, and Sherry. They all get the same ribeye steak, medium rare. And then Sherry says her life is so different here than in Kentucky. She's so tired here. And then Jax is like, hey, Sherry, while you're tired, before you leave, you're going to this birthday roast. And I should prepare you for what they're going to say.
I cannot believe Sherry is going to this roast. Like, I would do everything in my power to plan it so she is not there. Even the friends, like, I would want to go for the jugular. So, like, let's not have Brittany's mom there.
If I am Brittany, my mom's not getting within a mile of this fucking roast.
Fuck no, you can sit your ass at home alone if you have to be in town during the same time.
They not just do the roast next different weekend?
Thank you. I just feel like as a friend, this is something you just don't really mess with.
Also, Brittany, you fucking idiot. You know Jax. Why are you bringing Sherry around?
Well, you don't even know everything about Jax because it seems like you've never watched the show. So the things you do know are horrible.
Listen, it seems like Sherry already has questions about Jax. I want my mom to love my boyfriend, whether he's a piece of trash or not.
Yes.
My God, never if he's like, I'm doing a birthday roast, would I be like, you know, who should come? My mom.
And like, I don't even think all the things Jax has done are like that bad, but still, I don't want my mom to hear any of that.
I don't want him to hear anything. So he basically says he didn't kill anyone, and that's about the only thing he didn't do.
Which honestly, that is the best version of, or like, warning he could give her. Like, that is true.
Just leave it like that.
Leave it so open-ended, so then you're actually like not really surprised, or it seems like he didn't do as much.
Well, then he's like, I have been in trouble with the law, but it was all silly little things. And I was like, oh, yeah, those police are so little silly. They're so silly, you know?
Oh, like, remember, is he even allowed back in Hawaii?
No. So then Sherry is like, well, Brittany one time at 18 threw a party called G.I. Joes and Army Hose.
I love this.
Sherry had no idea that there was a keg, and then the police were called, and she almost got arrested for serving underage minors. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is funny. And Jax is like, oh, that's so dope. Brittany was a bad kid. Oh, because Brittany's like, I was kind of a bad kid.
I loved this.
This is every teenager, but rock out.
I was like, that's what, well, like, I think that's a really funny anecdote about Brittany, and I think it's like cute to tell, but I think
it's also funny because your mom almost got arrested, so like that's
hilarious.
But like then Jax is like, yeah, so there's that, and he used to sell fake report cards, and he cheated on his SATs, and if you use chapstick on Scantrons, you can get 100%, so he did that. And I was like, sir, that's not even the worst of things you've done. And Sherry's already shaking in her boots.
I'm like, this is nothing. These are funny to hear. Like, I love hearing stuff about like everybody being bad kids. Like all my friends, I love hearing random shit like this. But this stuff is inconsequential.
Yeah, if my mom heard my boyfriend like faked report cards, she'd be like, you're an idiot.
She'd be like, that's like, so funny.
If he goes, I got arrested in Hawaii for stealing sunglasses, my mom would be like, I don't love that, but okay. And then you just add it on like, oh, I cheated on my girlfriend with my best friend's girlfriend, who was my girlfriend's best friend. That's when my mom would be like, pardon?
That's where it is like this, that's real life stuff. Like, you can't, what are you gonna do? Sell me at 28, sell me a fake report card? Okay,
yeah, that doesn't matter.
That's such a like moment in time. Funny. But you could still cheat on me and get arrested and like make all these bad decisions that can actually affect your future and then mine.
Yeah. So then we go to Sheena and Shay's apartment. Sandoval's here because they have to go over Jack's roast material. Sheena's gonna talk about how Jax has bathroom sex with Laura Lee, gets girls' names tattooed on him, and slept with his best friend's girl, which I was like, Sherry is gonna run for the hills. So Sandoval's gonna bring up how Jax has had 2 tit jobs, and then Sheena's like, I have no idea what's happening with this roast because the girls leave me out of things, and now Katie sucks because of Kristen and Stassi and them all being friends. And Sandoval's like, yeah, Katie does suck. And Sheena's like, do you think she has a drinking problem? And Sandoval's like, kind of. And Sheena's like, I do too, but no one's gonna say it to her. I was like, just
Well,
leave
it's
it.
a tricky conversation.
I know.
So don't do it while she's drinking.
But Katie's actually going to try and do something about her anger because she's going to buy weed.
Oh,
This is
good.
before weed was legalized.
I know. When I saw this on
like
TV, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, this was medical only, and you needed a card from a doctor. And
Yeah.
you had to
So
go.
funny.
Yeah. So she walks in, she's trying to buy something for her anxiety and irritability, but she doesn't want to sleep. But Stassi's here to find a strain that will help her sleep. And so this is her solution to being angry when drinking. But I would like to say weed hits you different if you're already drunk.
That's the thing is,
you're gonna cross.
I would think about that. Like, is she just gonna only do weed now? It didn't seem like that was what she was saying.
She's gonna get cross-faded and probably vomit all over the place.
That's miserable. And then she'll yell at Schwartz for nothing.
For letting her vomit.
Yeah.
So then they talk about Katie tells Stassi how Sheena told her about the money thing, and Stassi's so mad. So she should take some of Katie's weed too, maybe.
Oh God, I hate them.
I don't care. Let's go to Jackson Brittany's apartment. So Kristen's here because Brittany needs her help because
that hat Brittany is wearing, I literally was like, why are you taking fashion notes from your mom?
Sherry's like, hey, I bought you this hat. And Brittany's like, yes.
It looked so bad.
Thanks, Mom. So Kristen, she's the roast master. So she's going to do some stand-up, which I don't know why Brittany would hire her, even though Brittany's like, I'm not a comedian, so I need Kristen's help. And I was like, girl.
I mean, come on. We just saw Kristen perform too. And so, like, why do you think she's good?
Dude, anyone else, Sherry would do a better job. So Brittany gets a text then from Sheena, and it says that Sandoval might bring up the shit with Brittany and Kristen. And Sherry's sitting right there, and she's like, what happened with you two?
Oh,
and I was like, Brittany,
my God.
Why would you?
She's like, she's gonna bring up the stuff between you and me, like as if that's code, and her mom's not gonna be concerned that she's involved.
Why would you say this in front of your mother if you didn't want your mother to know?
The way you say it to not get your mom to like pay attention is like, hey, I heard like, Sandoval's gonna bring up the rumor Jax was spreading earlier this year.
No, you know what you do? You just screenshot it and send it to Kristen.
I know, but if you're gonna say it on camera, like you don't say your own meme.
Well, you're like, Sandoval's gonna bring up all the Jax rumors of the past few years.
Yes.
So then Brittany's like, I don't know how to tell you, Mom. And Kristen's like, do you want me to do it?
Oh,
and I was like,
no,
so
Kristen.
Kristen's like, Jax spread a rumor that me and Brittany hooked up. Which was honestly,
Kristen actually did a good job.
Did a good job.
But I would not be like, yes, Kristen, please tell my mom things.
Yeah. So Sherry's pissed though, because A, Jax is spreading rumors, and B, just because I know Sherry, she's probably homophobic.
Yeah.
So she hates that that's the rumor. She'd rather Jax cheat on Brittany.
With a
girl, with a woman.
With a girl.
It's with a man, no way. So Sherry says, she hears any more rumors, she's taking Brittany back to Kentucky.
Oh,
shout out,
man.
So now we go to Jax's birthday roast. I just want to mention that Katie's outfit, I fucking hate her sense of style right now in this moment.
I was like, what was she wearing?
Dress with like a t-shirt.
Which, like, I don't like that on anyone. I'm gonna be honest.
Same.
I think it looks so bad when you layer a t-shirt under a dress.
Agreed. So Sherry
maybe
and Jax,
overalls or like the overall jean dresses. That's the only version I feel like that kind of can work.
This was like a pink dress that came up.
It was the slip dress with a little cowl like ripple thing.
Yeah. No thanks.
Horrible.
So Sherry and Jax are the last to show up, but they're here. Jax is a little nervous, because he's about to get roasted, but it's time. So I'm going to do highlights of like maybe people's best jokes and like if I thought it was funny.
What I want to say overall is that like the people, some of them who were quote unquote funny, is they had good material. Like Jax's life is such a joke.
Yeah.
Like not everybody was actually funny. And I want to give Kristen just a little shout out because I think she was good. Did pretty decent. She was pretty decent.
Yeah. I was nervous beforehand.
Me too.
I would also like to say some people just have really good comedic timing.
That's it. It's about the delivery.
Yeah, that's it. So Kristen starts out. I thought it was fun. She's mentioned how Jax is super dumb because one time he asked Lisa what's in a vodka tonic.
That was really funny.
That was a good one.
That was really good.
And then Kristen announces Ariana, who is laughing with Kristen, so she thinks Kristen's funny. But then she insults like Sandoval, which in turn insults Ariana, basically like, ew, you have my leftovers. But Ariana gets up there and roasts Kristen, basically, but also is roasting Jax in the process. It was really good.
I love the rebuttal because that was on the fly.
Yeah, that was great. And it was funny.
Yep.
And then Ariana was very funny. She mentioned that, you know, Jax always gets people pregnant in Vegas.
Yep.
Haha, he watches Maury because that's the only time he hears you're not the father. That was a good one. She had a really good roast.
I have a question for you really quick. Between everybody's stuff, do you think they all like called dibs on certain topics? Because it didn't seem like they had the same stuff, or they might have edited it. So they didn't
I think the same. I think overall it was like a Sandoval. She like through the grapevine you hear what people are going to bring up, and you always want to be different anyway.
Yeah, because I think that is huge of like not all talking about, you know, Vegas pregnancies.
Yeah, which was very fun. Ariana really killed it.
Yeah.
So then it's Katie's turn. So Katie mentions that one time Jax told Katie that the greatest pleasure he could ever have is watching his now fiance rail a girl right in front of her. Okay, so basically that was funny, but just because it was. But I thought Katie's material wasn't bad, but her delivery was very bad.
I agree. This was the only joke I found funny.
She was like shouting.
She doesn't know how to like change the like tone of her voice.
Yeah, it was like, oh, Jax told me this, but you know who does rail? And she like scream at him. And I was like, girl, it's not.
Yeah, like you got to be more subtle with like the change in your tones and like your pauses.
It wasn't great, but the material wasn't bad. So then it's Sheena's turn. She clowns him for not saying anything correctly ever, which was very funny.
But it was only funny because then we got the receipts. Yeah, like, I don't think it would be funny in person.
Overall, Sheena, I think did better than Katie, but not by much.
I think Katie's material was better. Sheena just had better delivery, so it comes off a little bit better.
So then Shay goes, he basically just calls Jax fat, which was fucking hilarious.
Which like probably cut Jax to his core.
It landed big time. It was great. I thought it was funny. Then it's Sandoval's turn. So Sandoval brings up their time in Miami, and then he makes a joke about like the Brittany and Kristen stuff. Like if he actually satisfied Brittany, she wouldn't have had to run to Kristen. His delivery's bad because I think he was very uncomfortable that Sherry is staring at him. No one laughed.
But the setup of that joke was really smart the way he went about it. Like honestly,
the joke was funny. If Sherry wasn't there, that joke lands.
Yes.
But the way he said it too, he like kind of held back.
He backs out of the joke in a sense, like
Kristen,
how he's saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was bad. But it was awkward. But overall, Sandoval gets Jax like that ugly portrait of Jax. That was hilarious.
My God, he looks so crazy. I love how he like went and found a random scene in a sense where he just looks so kooky.
Yeah, it was awesome. So now it's Stassi's turn. Stassi kills it.
Oh my God, yeah.
Jax is so nervous, which helps a lot. She even says she went really easy because she didn't want to embarrass Brittany, but Stassi's got a lot of fucking material.
Respectful, but it makes me so mad that fucking Sherry was there. Like I want her
Sherry
to destroy Jax. Like Stassi roasts Jax on the daily, like just in normal life. And so this just felt like a normal Stassi level, and I want her to perform.
Yeah, this was great. I really liked too. They all talked about Jax stealing things. Yeah. How she had like all the different items, things that Jax has stolen. That was fucking hilarious. So now Lisa even sends a video about how Jax steals all her shit.
Lisa was so good.
And then it's Brittany's turn. Brittany does a good job too, but she, ends it with like, you stole my heart and and some sunglasses. Then it's Schwartz's turn. I don't know why Schwartz goes after Brittany. But he basically says 4 out of 7 of Katie's bridesmaids have had sex with Jax.
Oh my God.
R.I.P.
I love how he puts the like exact percentage in there. The percentage of likelihood.
There's 67% that you.
I feel like Sherry doesn't know stuff like that, and that is weirdly like so shocking. Probably like. In your friend's bridal party, your boyfriend has slept with more than half these people.
Oh, that is so funny. That was so funny. That was the best joke in the night. And then Schwartz mentions that Jax has slept with a ton of women and maybe even a few men in Miami. which I again thought was funny as someone who's not Sherry.
And it's a joke because like even if it is or isn't true, like it was a rumor.
It was a rumor.
Like this is a roast, you know,
bringing up rumors.
Yeah.
So then Jax is a little nervous because he's got to know Sherry's homophobic, and he's annoyed that this is the most annoyed thing this is the thing he's most annoyed about, which is wild.
I think he already gets annoyed with it, and so I think that now having to defend himself to Sherry about this topic is what probably sets him off.
We agreed. We think it happened, right?
I think something happened.
Cool.
I forget where I stood on this, but
I don't care enough. So I'm not homophobic, so it does not bother me if Jack's hooked up with a man. No. So then after Kristen and Sandoval talk, Kristen's mad Sandoval made the joke in front of Brittany's mom, and Sandoval doesn't care. It was a great scene to have, really a palate cleanser, if you will.
Yes.
So then we got Jax, Brittany, and Sherry talking. And he's like, hey, Sherry, you good? And Sherry's like, we're going to have a little talk, because the most offensive thing to Sherry is that he might have kissed a boy.
Oh, and liked it, maybe.
Yeah. And even Jax is like, I'm a criminal. I'm addicted to sex. I'm a horrible person. And you're concerned that I may or may not have kissed a man.
Yes, which is like stupid. This is that is truly how I feel about people who are homophobic. I'm like, there are way bigger problems in the world, and this is what you want to be mad about?
He's literally going to end up in jail and leave Brittany to herself.
And she's like, that's okay. We can resolve that problem.
When he was gay, when he was 23, he might have kissed a man, and he's like, nope. We can't have that, Sherry, can we? So next time, the boys get suits for the wedding, and Ariana, the groomsmen. Lisa is painting her restaurant. Ariana and Stassi fight some more, and Ariana truly does not give a fuck. Sherry talks to Jax about the roast because she's homophobic. Ellie and Sheena are going to corner James at his job. Wild. And then Jax tries to fight him. Why is Jax there?
Because he loves the downfall of James. And he's a defender of women, so he needs to go defend Ellie, I bet.
He's not a defender of men because his in-laws are homophobic, so he must hate all men now. This is why he's defender of women.
Seriously. All right. Ready for some accepted and blocked?
Yes. Okay. Who do you want to block? Should we block first?
You block first, because I'm on the fence of two people.
Is it too weird to block Sherry?
No. But I feel like you're going to want to block her next time for this reason, because like we didn't really get into it.
Fine. Honestly, I'm going to block Brittany for supporting Sherry's views, because I look at my mom and be like, Mom, you should probably be fucking concerned about other things.
Yes.
Other than if 10 to maybe 15 years ago, he might have kissed a man in Miami when he was single. He wasn't even cheating on anyone as far as we know.
That's true. And like, we just celebrated gay pride, Brittany. Come on. Like, show up in the moments that it matters.
Exhausting. Okay.
I am going to block Schwartz only because of the half of his fight with Katie. I want to block both of them in reality, but
you're blocking Schwartz.
But I'm blocking Schwartz over it.
Oh, that's a good one. I hated Katie too, but sorry.
Because I like feel for Katie's, I'll say I discussed this in the episode of like probably why she's like actually sad, and like it's not good that she's setting him up for failure, but like I just want him to show up for her. And then whenever they're in the fight in the paint store, just like he has to just call her a bitch, which will rile her up more. So it always seems like she's kind of like reacting sometimes to him and just really sad. And it breaks my heart. So I want to take it out on him, but they just need to figure their shit out and stop brushing the shit under the rug just so we can get a freaking ride home.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Who do you want to accept?
I'm going to accept Jax. I feel like he took this stuff like a champ, and I really enjoyed the setup for his birthday. Like, I'm only accepting him because he got to be the butt of all these great jokes, and it gave me some great entertainment. Like, thanks for being bored so I could be entertained.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm going to accept Ariana.
Nice.
Because she had a good roast. She was a really good friend to Sheena.
Mm-hmm. She looked bomb in that outfit.
She looked bomb in the outfit. She helped Sandoval throw this like birthday fundraiser. And she's not even phased when Stassi and Kristen show up, because if roles were reversed, Stassi would be so mad Ariana's breathing in her space.
But also mad if she didn't show up.
Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even care. Great.
I love that.
10 out of 10. Cool.
Another stellar episode, I do have to say.
Truly, this was great. So I can't wait to watch Sherry be homophobic next week.
Oof.
It's gonna be rough to watch because fuck that. But great. So we're gonna do the after show. Don't forget to join us on all the things at Vanderpasta. Do it all, love it all, see it all. Great.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye.